Good morning, my baby. I'm going to continue to talk about the history of Tudor Dynasty in England. Do you remember last topic? After Henry VII passed away, Prince Henry proposed to his sister-in-law, Catharine of Aragon, and married with her. Prince rides on white horse. Up to here, very romantic story. But, you will be depressed by him, from now on a lot. So, my girl, I am going to tell you, do not trust man. Their marriage ceremony was on 1509, and simultaneously, the coronation of Henry VIII also had been conducted. That moment, Henry VIII was handsome boy, and wearing gorgeous costume with many jewelry. Catharine of Aragon, bride of Henry VIII, was dignified, and pious Catholic. People of England celebrate these young couple. Indeed, Henry VIII was already well known in Europe, as genuine Prince of Tudor Dynasty. He was tall, around 3.3 feet, and over 220 pounds, after 30 years old. But, anyway, blonde hair, and handsome boy, when he was young. Good at horse riding, archery, and moreover, also pious Catholic. He read through Bibles, and remember many significant sentences. They're happy together at that moment, and Catharine pregnant after marriage. However, stillbirth of first baby, and, afterwards, pregnant again. This baby boy passed away, just after 1 month of delivery. Catharine was, so sad. One of the missions of king, in material time was, go to war, and Henry VIII also had to go to his own war against France. Sometime, he went to the battle with Ferdinand II, father-in-law, and gained tiny victory against Louis XII. But, gradually, he went to war alone, and achieved some results. Meanwhile, Catharine also repulsed Scotland army from their invasion. In this war, King of Scotland, James IV had been killed in action. He was husband of Margaret. This Margaret was elder sister of Henry VIII. These days, even among family member, kill each other. But, since Henry VIII could not success his blood in the end, I mean, his sons were all passed away without any kids, his blood has been cut off, and blood of Margaret has been inherited. Actually, existing England royal family also, same DNA of this Margaret. But, during this war with Scotland, Catharine again, stillborn baby boy. These days, survival rate of newborn baby was extremely low, due to poor hygiene circumstances, and premature medical technology, many stillborn cases happened. On the other hand, Ferdinand II, and Maximilian I feel discomfortable for Henry VIII. They did not expect young Henry VIII could win the battle against France, and they dislike it. Don't years old you feel strange? I understood, Maximilian I, but Ferdinand II is father-in-law, and Henry VIII is his son-in-law. Why, Ferdinand has to be so unhappy about victory of Henry VIII? This is the circumstance of that age. Anyone could be enemies. Then, Maximilian I, and Ferdinand proposed alliance to France, Louis XII. Henry VIII was burst into anger, and told to Venetian ambassador that, I cannot believe anyone in this world. Through these pain experiences, his characteristic has been gradually changed. Also, it gave some changes on the relationship between Henry VIII and Catharine. Before, he asked Catharine to take care diplomacy. But, from this moment onward, he removed her from this position, and replaced Thomas Wolsey. Henry's idea, Catharine is daughter of Ferdinand, and could not fully trust her. If they have baby, situation should be better, but unfortunately, they could not have baby to success his kingdom. And Henry VIII had to avoid war against France to destroy this alliance. He asked his young and beautiful sister, Mary Tudor, to get married with Louis XII. Actually, Mary had boyfriend at that moment, but Henry forced her to get married with Louis XII. Mary said she agrees to get married with Louis XII. But after Louis passed away, she will decide to get married whoever she likes. Right after marriage 3 months, Louis XII really dead. Then, she got married with her boyfriend. New France King, Francis I of France, also strongly support their marriage. First moment, Henry VIII was extreme anger, but Francis I returned dowry of Mary, and Henry eventually agreed their marriage. Their daughter is Frances Grey, mother of Lady Jane Grey, one of heroine in the England history. Back to Henry and Catharine. Finally, she delivered healthy baby girl, Mary. But Henry was not so happy about it. He wanted to have a boy. In England, girl still has right to success throne, but Henry insisted to have a boy, rather than a girl. 2 years later, Catharine delivered baby girl again, but also passed away just after few hours later. So, eventually, Catharine had only this Mary in her life. Maybe in this connection, Catharine concentrated worship more and more. So, wearing plain and rough dress in the palace, and spent more time to pray for God. Although Henry was pious Catholic, he disliked such lifestyle, and distance between Henry and Catharine was getting more and more far. As a natural consequence, Henry started to have another girlfriend. And one of his girlfriends delivered baby boy. Catharine was so shocked, because she could not deliver baby boy, but his girlfriend could. These moments, Maximilian first passed away, and history come up to the different stage. Yes, Karl V appeared in the history pages. Karl V is grandson of Maximilian, and his is exactly King of King. He was son of Philip I of Castile, Philip Handsome, and Joanna of Castile, elder sister of Catharine. So, when he born in this world, he was already entitled to be King of Spain, and because his grandfather was Maximilian I, he is legitimate successor of Holy Roman Empire. And 3 of these kings in young generation move history book. One is Henry, and one is Francis, and one more is Karl V. They are 28 years old, 25 years old, and 19 years old. All over Europe was, basically, dominated by these 3 young kings. Young, promised 3 kings were in Europe. Henry and Francis were tall and good-looking. Karl was outward jaw and speak with a lisp. But his political skill was splendid among these 3. One funny side topic. These days one of criteria of handsome is not only face, but his beautiful leg. From many portraits of these days, we can discover that they emphasize their leg. For them, to show his muscle long leg was showing off his physical power. But don't believe these portraits, because they can easy to change, exaggerate what they are. No painter is very brave to draw the king exactly same as him. They must decorate to be more beautiful, handsome. Anyway, relationship between these 3 kings are simple. Henry hates Francis, and Francis hates Henry. Karl waves between them. Henry even suggested Karl to get married with his daughter, Mary. Mary was just 4 years old at that moment, and amazing, Karl was happy with this idea. But, eventually, Charles got married with his cousin, Queen of Portage, Isabella of Portugal. Habsburg family preferred to enhance the relationship with Portage, House of Aviz. That moment, Portage was developing oversea ocean route. Vasco da Gama is one of famous explorer to reach to India by sea. Karl V could disregard the relationship with England. After 3 years passed, there was rumor in the palace of Henry that one of the Catharine's lady-in-waiting is going to get married with son of Earl of Northumberland, and Henry strongly opposed for this marriage. Actually, historical record didn't show clear evidence of her romance much. And indeed, no information indicated she was beautiful girl. Her family was self-made aristocracy, and just common a few generations before. But you have to hint up that, why? Henry strongly opposed, because he had curiosity on her as a female. Her name is Anne Boleyn, and she also one of main actress of England history. She was not really beautiful, but rich long and black hair, fresh skin, big and black eyes, and quite witty girl. Man feels comfortable to stay and chat with her. Meanwhile, she has her own bit. Get married with rich aristocracy as soon as she can. If she can be wife of aristocracy, she can ensure stable life, and what she wanted was just stable rich life. Definitely, she did not have any ambitions to be queen in the beginning stage. Moreover, she disliked to be just one of lover of king at all. Actually, she started her life as a maid, when she was very young. She accompanied with Mary Tudor to visit France. After Mary Tudor returned to England, she served to Claude of France. Then, back to England, served to Catharine. Her birth year may be between 1501 to 1507. If 1507, she was just 16 years old and she obtained sophisticated manner of France. Amazingly, mother of Anne Boleyn was girlfriend of Henry VIII, before he got married with Catharine. When he met Anne Boleyn, his updated girlfriend was sister of Anne Boleyn, Mary Boleyn. Really holy shit. He made Boleyn family as his girlfriend's branch. You have to be careful, some men are like this. Anyway, Henry asked her to be his girlfriend, but she rejected. She just wanted to have stable happy family life with rich man, and did not want to be one of lover of Henry. His characteristic, if he cannot get it, eager to get with strong passion. This is also quite common characteristic of human. Then, one theory here, not to give him first, he will be more eager to have it. Anne Boleyn has this kind of skill, and never allow him to touch her. Henry seldom writes letter in his official duty, but 17 pieces of lover letters for Anne Boleyn are still in museum. You can find how he, or loving kid is stupid. He wrote, I am believing, I can kiss your lovely chest in my arm. Also, he wrote, I could be your slave. Same as boss typed love message to his beautiful employee. Henry suggested to Anne to be first official lover in England with certain title and territory. But, still Anne refused to nod. Then, he gave title and territory to her father, brother, and push her in the corner. You can see, really shit of shit, but some men are like this. Luxury gift, delicious supper, drive car, money and trip. It is traps of men. Eventually, we do not know Henry, or and think first, but they started to consider to let her be a queen. Indeed, marriage life with Catharine was already collapsed, and they did not have kids as well. For Henry, nothing to hesitate to divorce with Catharine. And backed to King's Palace. Henry was so happy, and some ambassador penciled, he was kissing her, wherever, whenever. But, still Anne rejected to stay with him in the bedroom. Because, they have one, but crucial difficulty to get married. They are Catholic. In the rule of Catholic, it disallows divorce, and remarriage. Therefore, someday, Henry walked into the court by himself, and sued himself. He claimed, he wrongly got married with Catharine, so, this marriage is invalid. He insisted that, the marriage with wife of brother-in-law is sinful, and should not be happened. He was also thinking that, the reason why he cannot have good baby, because of this inadequate marriage. Once, you get marriage with bride of your brother, this marriage will not be cheerful. Henry was really believing this idea. Explain more details. Because, Catharine got married with Arthur in 1501. And, after Arthur's death, Henry and Catharine got married in 1509. At that moment, Henry already won his marriage with Catharine, through very radical way. However, still it is quite ridiculous to deny his marriage itself. Unfortunately for Henry, already 18 years has been passed from their marriage. And, exiting Roman Catholic Church was not easy rather than 18 years before. It seems difficult to settle this case, divorce with Catharine, by money, or his authority. Shit Henry, he informed this court case to Catharine, after 1 month passed when he walked in the court. All of sudden for Catharine. Really, he did not have any delicacy to think about feeling of others. She loves him a lot. Henry suggested bulky consolation money for compensation, and also promised to release some territory of him to her. But, Catharine never agreed. One of the reasons of her, because, if she agrees, she is no longer Queen of England, and her daughter, Mary will be illegitimate child. In this case, Mary has to give up her authority to inherit any property of Henry. Catharine had strong supporter. Karl V. He was nephew of Catharine, and he has strong power in the moment of Europe. He asked Catholic Church, not to allow this Henry's claim. However, still Henry asked Roman Catholic Church to decide his claiming. It was sensational. King of England, and its wife has to go to the court. Roman Catholic Church wanted to delay for conclusion, and Pope Clement VII, also famous pope in Roman Catholic history, because he came from Medici family. I described their life in another chapter, because they are also one of main actors of this era. Anyway, he sent Campeggio, as special envoy of Roman Pope. Why him? Because, he was gout. He could not walk so fast. So, it took 3 months to be England, from Roma. But, still they have to have a court, and Campeggio suggested to Catharine to go to convent. If she entered convent, she will be free from secular society, and without divorcing, Henry can be free as well. But, Catharine strongly refused this proposal. She believed, her vocation is be a Queen of England, as wife of Henry. She has strong sense of dignity, as a Queen of England. Meanwhile, Henry still sometimes visited room of Catharine, and asked her to help sewing of his shirts. Maybe he was really innocent, and could not understand what he is doing is absolutely abnormal, and nasty. This court case lasted over 2 years. Then, Henry was so irritated, and Anne Boleyn was so unhappy. Also, Anne Boleyn was not really popular in palace. Someday, she found some doodles in her room. One king, and initial H, one queen, and initial C, and one more girl. Without head? And initial A. And said, "It is, this headless girl it's me." And she continued to say, "Whatever, I will get that king." They found victim, Thomas Wolsey. Removed him from his title, and confiscated his all territories. Indeed, Roman Catholic Church was not willing to touch this problem, and Campeggio intentionally slowed down trial. Finally, Thomas Cranmer gave new idea to Henry. You can control everything, if you jump out from Roman Catholic. This is one brand new idea, and this idea produced new history of Europe. This idea gave bright torch on Henry's brain. And eventually, Church of England has been established, in 1534. Actually, I focused on divorce, between Henry and Catharine for establishment of Church of England. But, truth is not really that simple. Behind, conflict between, England, Holy Roman Emperor, Vatican, also Catholic, and, Protestant. So, it is silly to watch history from only one dimension. But, in order to easy to digest, I focused on gossip of them. Anyway, eventually, Henry and Anne could get married in 25th of January 1533, secretly. Thomas Cranmer, Archbishop of Canterbury, announced official marriage between Henry and Anne. After dismissed marriage of Henry and Catharine on 23rd of May, 1533. It takes 10 years for Anne to be a queen. She was forced to separate with her boyfriend, and pushed into political game, and finally, obtained status of queen. And pregnant immediately. Fortune teller of palace predicted his boy, and Anne also promised, she will deliver baby boy. But, eventually, she delivered baby girl. This is Elizabeth I, very famous queen in the history of England. This is also history. But, Henry could not stop his own steps. He executed many people, who against his Church of England. Even he killed his tutors, friends, Thomas More, and his vassals as well. Also, he confiscated properties of monasteries. Anyway, typical type of tyrant. And in 1536, Catharine had passed away. The day of her funeral, Anne Boleyn stillbirthed her second baby. Actually, it was boy, and, from this stillbirth onward, Henry lost his love on Anne. Before Catharine passed away, she wrote letter for Henry. I will forgive whatever you have done on me. Please take care my maids. Please be good father of Mary. In the last, my eyes still watching you. And, she signed, Queen of England, Catharine. Historical records said, after so few sentences of Catharine's letter, Henry cried. But, after he recognized her signature as Queen of England, he should admit he surrendered. Catharine was noble, and high-dignity queen in England history and still has reputation among England people. Meanwhile, stupid Henry VIII was so happy to hear the news of Catharine's pass away, and danced with Anne Boleyn with yellow dress. I know you feel disgusting, but still he goes on his eccentric world.
As the journey continues.